Welcome to another edition of Scout Report, where we are talking all things Robert Lewandowski. The Bundesliga season is over and, surprise surprise, Bayern Munich are champions again. Ever since Hans-Dieter Flick took the reins from Niko Kovac back in November, Die Rotten have looked unstoppable, claiming 28 victories, drawing once and losing just twice in 31 games, a staggering 90.3% win rate. They only dropped a single point in 2020 to register their 8th consecutive title. Throughout the highs and lows of the season, one man has refused to let his standards drop: Robert Lewandowski. From carrying the Bavarians in the early part of the campaign to dominating under Flick, the 31-year-old has finished with a career-best 34 goals in 31 league games. Currently on 51 goals in all competitions, Lewandowski can quite rightly claim to be out on his own as the world's best number 9. Here on Euro Football Daily, we will break down how the Polish international took his game to yet another level, and why a first Ballon d'Or could be firmly in his sights. The goal machine. One of the things that makes Robert Lewandowski so exceptional is just how consistently he has been performing at his peak. In 10 Bundesliga seasons, he has only ever been injured for a maximum spell of 4 weeks, allowing him to score 236 times in 321 appearances at a ridiculous rate of 0.74 goals per game. Everyone that knows Lewandowski firsthand won't be surprised at this impeccable consistency. In his time as Bayern manager, Pep Guardiola described him as one of the most professional players he had ever met. And if you dig a little deeper into his backstory, all you will find is a clean-cut player totally devoted to football. He lives by a strictly moderated diet, devised by his nutritionist and karate champion wife, which he credits for maintaining his physical well-being and for producing his best performances on match day. Years of self-preservation and striving for improvement have culminated in one of the best individual seasons in Bundesliga history. Even during the difficult final months of Niko Kovac's time in charge, there were signs that the former Lech Poznan forward was onto something special. By the end of October, he was running at an unbelievable non-penalty expected goals per 90 rate of 1.27, and even working uncharacteristically hard for the team, managing a career-high 4.3 pressure regains per 90 and completing 2 dribbles per match. But what made the 31-year-old so deadly in this period was the quality of the shots he was taking. The former Dortmund man was hitting a Bundesliga-high 4.6 shots per 90, while just under 50% of his total shots were on target. To the horror of all keepers, just under 50% of these efforts were culminating in a goal. As a result, his conversion rate hit a massive 0.22 goals per shot, meaning just shy of 1 in every 4 shots he was taking was going in. Alisson Player and Timo Werner may have been posting close to similar conversion rates, but both were taking over a shot less per game, so not scoring in such abundance as Lewandowski. While many thought this early hot streak would come to an end, under Hansi Flick, Lewandowski remains relentless. By the end of the season, his shots per 90 finished on 4.5, and his conversion rate even rose to 24.8%. Even the shutdown of the league couldn't slow him down. Upon its resumption, he netted 10 times, only failing to score in a 1-0 win away at Dortmund. This incredible return has been helped by Lewandowski playing to his strengths. In interviews, the Pole has openly admitted his shots from distance need improving. But fortunately for Bayern, there is hardly anyone better when it comes to operating in the box. Of his 34 goals, 29 came in the penalty area, 4 in the 6-yard box and only 1 from range. Lewandowski has never played so high up the pitch, with roughly 41% of his overall touches coming in the opposition box, and 1 in 4 touches being a shot. The fact 34% of all Bayern's possession takes place in the final third of the pitch allows Lewandowski to operate almost exclusively in the area he performs best, trusting in Bayern's exceptional supporting cast to find him where it matters. Lewandowski has played like a man totally in sync with his own game, while a frightening amount of quality shots meant the goals kept on coming. He may not have done it this season, but if there is one man who could break Gerd Muller's infamous German top-flight record of 40 goals in a single campaign, it can only be him. Champions League glory. If you're enjoying this style of video, why don't you head over to Football Daily Podcast? Here's a quick message from the host, Patrick Van Straten.
Hey, it's Patrick Van Straten here, just letting you know that from now on, the Extra Time podcast is going to be on a dedicated podcast channel, Football Daily Podcasts, and it's not going to be there on its own. We will also be premiering a European football podcast headed up by our very own Doogie Critchley. So head over to Football Daily Podcasts and subscribe, and you'll get great content every week. And of course, if you still listen with Overcast, Spotify or iTunes, then you can check out the podcast in audio form on all of those. But head to Football Daily Podcasts for the video every week. We hope to see you there.
Being prolific in your domestic league is no longer enough to be considered the best striker in the world. Producing on the biggest stage is where it matters, and fortunately for Bayern Munich, the Champions League has been a fertile hunting ground for Lewandowski. Back in October 2019, his two stunning strikes away at Spurs in Bayern's 7-2 romp set the tone for the competition. As from just 6 games, he has bagged a huge 11 goals, a figure only Haaland comes close to. And if it looked like he was dominating defences in the Bundesliga, he has been almost untouchable in Europe. He is currently taking a massive 6 shots per 90, the most in the competition. Much to the concern of the opposition, he takes 3.7 shots in the box, once again the most of any player, and right where he wants to be. When you consider how lethal his conversion rate has been this season, it's no surprise he is running just short of 2 goals per game. In fact, his all-round performances have also been close to perfect. Lewandowski is not just a goalscorer but a hustler too, winning 2.5 aerial duels per game and completing 1.6 tackles and clearances. He is even making 2.2 key passes per 90, a feat bettered only by Karim Benzema among number 9s in the competition. This selfless player has helped 8 of his teammates register goals in Europe, with Serge Gnabry on 6. This is the second straight season Lewandowski has topped the goal-scoring charts in the Champions League after the group stage, while he is currently tied with Benzema as 4th on the all-time goalscorers list. With Bayern one of the hot favourites to go all the way, it looks almost certain he will have the opportunity to move clear of the Frenchman. The Polish goal machine will have his sights firmly set on Cristiano Ronaldo's record of 17 goals in a single Champions League season. Should he do so in a year where the semi and quarter-finals have been restricted to a single game, then it will be even more impressive. Europe's elite. A quick look at the other main goal scorers in Europe's top 5 leagues, and it's hard to argue Lewandowski isn't the best. Ciro Immobile of Lazio looks like one of the few contenders who could catch his tally of 34 league goals, with the Eagles' cult hero on 29 goals with 7 games to play. However, 11 of his goals have been penalties, a whole 6 more than Lewandowski. Remove his ability to score from the spot, and his goals per 90 rate falls from 1 to 0.66. This doesn't even rank in the top 3 forwards in Serie A, with Arkadiusz Milik and Andreas Cornelius both ahead of him. Lewandowski finished the season with a massive non-penalty goal per 90 rate of 0.95, which is still better than Atalanta's Josip Ilicic, who tops the Italian charts. And try as he might, even Cristiano Ronaldo can't claim to be better than Lewandowski right now. The Portuguese maestro is still on track for his first 30-goal campaign in 4 years, on 26 goals at the time of writing, but he has been far less clinical with his opportunities. He may currently be boasting a massive 6 shots per 90 with a Serie A best of 2.1 on target, however 34% of his efforts come from range, where he has only scored twice. This leaves him with a conversion rate of 16.7%, which doesn't even rank him in the top 10 in Italy. The reality is, from 5 more attempts on target, Lewandowski has scored 8 more times than Ronaldo. So given the opportunity to play an equal number of games, the two wouldn't compare. Ballon d'Or. The ultimate question that remains is, can Lewandowski claim the Ballon d'Or? While Kevin De Bruyne and the ageless Sergio Ramos are in with a shout, it looks increasingly likely that Lionel Messi will once again be the man everyone has to beat, and for good reason. At the time of writing, Messi tops the La Liga scoring charts on a modest 22 strikes with 4 matches to play. However, what he has lacked in goals, he has more than made up for in creativity, currently on 19 assists, a whole 10 more than anyone else in the Spanish top flight. That brings him to 41 league goal involvements overall, a whole 3 more than Lewandowski. However, such as the current turmoil at the Catalan club, it doesn't look like Messi will be ending the season on a high. As management issues continue to trouble the side, it would be miraculous if they emerge from their current turmoil with either the Champions League or La Liga trophy. It should also be mentioned that Lewandowski hasn't needed to create a ton of goals for his teammates. From the electric Alphonso Davies to the forgotten figure of Philippe Coutinho, Bayern possess 6 players who have reached 5 or more assists in the Bundesliga. Only Messi and Suarez can boast a similar feat in the Blaugrana squad. Lewandowski has been able to exploit his excellent understanding with Thomas Muller to excel in front of goal. The German has been making a mockery of Joachim Löw's decision to drop him from the national side, popping up with a ridiculous 21 assists and 8 goals, including 3.3 key passes per 90. 8 of those assists have been for Lewandowski, while Muller's movement and presence in the box is vital for attracting opposition defenders away from their main striker. This is the 6th full season the two have played together, and their connection has never been better. But the reality is that Muller's own numbers have been bolstered by having such a lethal finisher at the end of his passes. The fact Lewandowski's XG stands at 31.2, just 2.8 short of his actual return, shows there is no mistake to his exceptional record. Messi also plays in a squad featuring some quality attacking talent, and for all Barcelona's issues, they are still the top scoring side in La Liga. The Ballon d'Or historically favours the player who is finishing the moves over the one who is creating them, and the bottom line is no one has been better than that this season than Lewandowski. His goals have already propelled Bayern Munich to the Bundesliga and DFB Pokal title. Should the Champions League follow, there can be little argument over who has enjoyed a better and more influential season. Robert Lewandowski may be fortunate to play in an incredible side that dominates their league, but that hasn't stopped him from setting new, unbelievable standards. He has become a leader both on and off the pitch, with reports detailing how the once cold and self-centered star has embraced a role as mentor to his teammates young and old. This air of positivity has culminated in an incredible goal-scoring season, which has left him on the cusp of being not only able to call himself the best number 9 in the world, but arguably the best footballer operating right now. So guys, that was our scout report on the incredible Robert Lewandowski. What did you guys think of it, and how good has this season been? Does he deserve the Ballon d'Or? Let us know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!